Hi, welcome to the Internet Storyteller, where I share the latest, greatest, and sometimes the most horrific stories of the internet. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support for this channel so far. I've noticed that in some of my videos, there's been strange kind of volume changes from low volume to high volume. I'll try to re-upload some of the earlier videos with improved volume control. So our very first story today, entitled Parent Asks to See My Scar. When I was 11, I was experiencing abdominal pain, which, after 12 days in hospital with no food, turned out to be my burst appendix. Wow. I was rushed to surgery, had my bowels removed and cleaned as my appendix had burst inside me. Ouch. I was sent home 2 days after and recovered, but now I have a huge scar on my side. This causes me to hate swimming, as the majority of my scar is revealed. This is where my story begins. My friend had brought me swimming, and my scar was revealed. This woman and her little brat of a child were there. They climbed out of the pool, and this child was just staring at me. It was unnerving. This boy and the mom came over and the following conversation ensues. By the way, I was 13 at this time. Entitled Mom says, "What's wrong with your side?" Entitled Kid says, "I want to touch it." I say, "No, you can't touch it." The scar still irritated me as it was sensitive and it triggered my nerves when touched. And I also wasn't going to reveal my medical life to this horrible person or her spawn. Entitled Mom says, "I asked you a question. What's wrong with your side?" I say, "I had a major surgery 2 years ago." Entitled Mom says, "No, you didn't. If it was major surgery, your mark wouldn't be down on your waist." I can feel something touching my scar. I look down and see the entitled kid touching my scar. This causes me to jerk back. Entitled Mom says, "Hey, let my baby touch your body art. You clearly just don't want anyone knowing you got this tattooed on." I say, "I don't need to listen to you." The entitled kid interrupts and says, "I want to touch it again." Entitled Mom says, "Go ahead, sweetie, touch his tattoo." I say, "Listen, lady, your brat can't touch me, not Entitled Mom. He says he has been good and he should get to touch your tattoo. My friend says, "Hey, what's going on here?" I say, "Thanks for coming here," and we'll call him Stanley for genericness. I say, "This horrible lady is saying her son should touch my tattoo because, well, F all." Entitled Mom says, "It's not a scar, you lying count. Now let my son touch it." At this point, a security guard has come over and asks what is happening. The entitled mom has the audacity to say, "Please arrest him. He is harassing my poor boy with his tattoo." The security guard says, "Ma'am, this boy is clearly a minor and he is too young to get a tattoo." Entitled Mom says, "But it clearly is a tattoo and my son should get to touch it." Security guard says, "Ma'am, if you don't stop harassing this minor, I have to call the guards." Entitled Mom says, "Don't bother, we're leaving." So, long story short, this woman was going to let her child touch my scar even though I said no and explained it wasn't a tattoo. Wow, this story is really crazy. I mean, why would anybody want to touch a tattoo of somebody? I mean, even if you did believe that it was a tattoo, why would you want to touch somebody else's tattoo? And, you know, if the little kid touched it and noticed that it wasn't a tattoo and was a scar instead, why would the kid want to touch the scar? That's kind of creepy. Well, that's our first story. I hope you enjoyed it. It definitely had some very creepy characters who wanted to touch scars or touch tattoos. The second story that we have today is entitled, Give Me Your Wedding Ring, because my daughter's boyfriend can't afford one right now. Hey kids, so I always thought that the entitled parent thing only really happened with young kids. No, that's not the case. Wife and I just went to the rodeo to see a concert and eat some food that we would inevitably regret later. The performance at the rodeo was Cardi B. I'm not a fan, but the wife is. Anyway, you have to take a bus to the actual rodeo because of the various parking places. We are standing on the bus waiting for the stop to get off, and entitled parent keeps staring at my wife's hand. My wife is way too nice and started a conversation. I won't go into a dialogue chat because, to be honest, I don't remember the conversation word for word. However, it went along something like this. Wife and entitled parent started talking. Wife initiated it because she felt uncomfortable with the staring from the lady. And eventually it got to the topic of my wife's wedding ring. We just got married in May. Entitled parent told my wife that she loves her ring and then asks to see it. My wife looks at me for help, and I, being firmer in nature, say, I'm sorry, but that's not appropriate. We don't know you. Basically, the stuff anyone would say when a random person asks to see your wedding ring. Keep in mind, my wife still has it on her finger when entitled parent FaceTimes her daughter. She basically zooms in on my wife's hand and asks if she likes the set. The daughter says, yeah, it's cute. And the mom basically does a, okay, thanks, bye, and hangs up the phone. This I do remember word for word, because I'm pretty sure my eyebrows hit the ceiling. Give me your wedding ring because my daughter's boyfriend wants to propose but can't afford one. Oh my goodness. I looked at her and I swear I laughed for a solid 10 seconds before I realized she was serious. My wife was looking at me like, who is this bee? And I was just overall surprised by the woman. I kid you not, this woman reached over and grabbed my wife's hand. My wife made a fist so that she couldn't get the ring, and I pushed the woman's hand off of my wife and told her that was enough. She started to scream, and people were staring, but my wife told the people what was going on, and they turned around. No one thought to help, actually. Anyway, the woman persisted to try and get the ring some more, and she looked at us and said, "You can obviously afford it. I'm trying to make my baby's dream come true," or some garbage like that. I finally told her if she puts her hand on my wife again, she's going to catch an attempted robbery charge as well as an assault charge. She moved through the bus, but not before I screamed that she is trying to steal things from people, so they should watch out. She made the bus driver stop somewhere random so she could get off. That was the weirdest garbage that ever happened to me. Oh my goodness. You know what? I actually know where this rodeo occurred. It's actually going on in Houston. And I also know that Cardi B was a performance at the rodeo. I mean, that's crazy that someone would try to steal somebody's ring, especially with the prevalence of, guns, I guess, in Texas. You could get in a lot of trouble. Well, that was our second story. And hopefully, you guys can avoid these strange people who want to touch tattoos, touch scars, and who try to reach for people's wedding rings. Okay, so hope you guys have a great day, and I am the Internet Storyteller. If you liked these stories, please do like and subscribe, and I, of course, will include a link to each of the stories in the description below. Thank you so much. Bye.